Yeah. All right. Live on a Tuesday night. Live on a Tuesday night. A little bit later than I wanted to. Been getting a lot of stuff accomplished. Did some things. And even joined in on Killer Carl's program, watching it for a few minutes as I was setting up things here in Studio A beside the banks of the Southern Fried River in North Georgia. Hope you've had a great day. It's been a pretty good day. And talked to Rob. He's doing better. Again, he doesn't usually do any kind of Tuesday programming. So, but we did talk a couple of times today. He sounded a lot better. And hopefully Miss Elizabeth is as well. So hope you're doing great today. A little colder in the weather. A lot of people talking about it. You know, they were going to. And then when it gets hot again, they'll wish it was cooler. But yeah, everybody's talking about how cold it is. We got some freeze warnings here in North Georgia. Have to watch out if you've already got some stuff out or stuff that's susceptible to the freeze warnings or the freezes, rather, not the warnings, but the freeze itself. Then hopefully that won't happen. It's going to be close. I mean, the temperature is, I think if you're in the higher elevations, you're going to get it. I mean, it may be here as well, but in the valley, it's going to be close. So I would take precautions nonetheless. Been a pretty day, awesome day. Helped with some this afternoon. Helped a little bit. We had blood assurance at our company and helped a little bit with that as people are giving life-saving blood to help their fellow citizens. And they'll be back with us on Thursday, and I'm going to donate Thursday as they come back and we get the other shift, the other shifts we missed, and hopefully we can double what we gave. They told us they have a bus coming to us, and maybe two, and then a bus or two going to Kennesaw State University. I hope they get a lot there. There's a lot of people at Kennesaw State, and I would love to see them get a lot. Just it's always running a shortage. It's always, if we have it's always a critical need, especially for those more rare, kinds of blood. I go with anything. They love mine because it's so positive and it can just be mixed with just about anything. So that's good. So I'm glad to see that. Always need help. And, it's just never enough. So a lot of people are not willing to give. Some people get awards for how much they gave. And, it's a personal choice. But there are some people, sometimes they'll donate to a particular issue or something too. You can do that as well. So we'll see. But it was a good day. And I hope you had a good day. It's a good day in America. With some news today a little bit. IRS and DHS has an agreement to share tax information about illegals. That's good development. We need more stuff like that to get that done, get that information, communicate. By the workings of government communicate. I do want to say, I think I mentioned it, but I read through the email again, and just to make sure I had the full gist of it. Some months ago, back before Christmas, well, I think it was October, November, we had Miss Melissa Blevins with the Chattanooga Food Bank on. And later, I had been there for an event, later went back and volunteered with a group of people, and we helped out there as well, one of their other locations, helping people shop and stocking and all that. Amazing operation. And I've done a tour there. They rely on a lot of funding, and there's various partners that work with them. There's a lot of food pantries and stuff that are scattered around the 20 counties that they serve. 200,000 folks they are helping. 200,000 folks. Think about that number. Well, with everything that's going on, and I'm not saying it was intended this way, but as a byproduct of cuts that are happening, they've lost in some cases a full 20% of their support. And some of that support was even money that goes to farmers and to help with that aspect of it, because it's a full circle of stuff. way that they help. So, let's pray for them, and they can replenish that they can replenish what they lost. And even it gets a little worse because some of the people that do give to them, they got cut. And so they don't have as much to work with. So they're not able to give to the partner agency. So if that's happening here, I would say there's probably issues across the states. So, and that was the federal funding. So again, I'm not saying that's intentional. I think that's probably just a byproduct of the speed at which things are moving, which has really kind of been a concern of mine, that there could be unintended consequences about that. So there was it's not a political statement. It's just a reality. And hopefully they can get this fixed. They're working on, keeping everything going, squeezing that dollar as best they can. I'm going to reach out to Miss Melissa. I know she's probably really busy, but I want to reach out to her and just find out, so get some information about the issue, because she's the expert on it. And I don't want to say anything that's not true, but this communication that I got was from her. And it came actually through one of their volunteer coordinators, but it was from the CEO, and she just forwarded it out to folks that had volunteered there, because a lot of people had asked questions, and she wanted them to know that it was absolutely true. Hello, Chick Bait. Hello, Lewis. She wanted to set the record straight, which is what I like. I don't like beating around the bush. Just tell us what the issue is, and let the chips fall where they may. Now, I don't know who made the decision or what that money was tied up in. It could have been tied up in that's the way government works. They've got a bowl of money or a bucket of money, and there's lots of things coming out of that. And there may be waste in that bowl, a lot of it, or something that was in that. One good thing they did was, send grants and money to the food bank. So under different things, it's all our money. I mean, it absolutely is all our money, but just that they needed, that support to get not only food, but there's other things that come out of it. Like I said, help back to farmers and stuff like that. Hello, Michael. And I hope everybody's here doing well. But yeah, it's, I just want to put that out there because, it just shows it puts a little color on the situation, just to color in some things. Cause we're not seeing what Doge is seeing. We're not seeing the Dun and Bradstreet of it. We don't know what those check downs are and those expenditures and what's in the black and what's in the red. And I mean, nobody knows what that is. So, but on the ground, you can, you can get information like that. I think it's important to share it. So, a lot of people give to those things. So, I just think that with the speed at which things move, there can be unintended, not that it was on purpose, consequences. And a lot of people, I know that he's at the head of it. Elon is, one of the main leaders, if not the main leader of Doge. But he's not doing all that, because he has people working for him that take care of that. So there's no telling. So they'll, at this point, they don't know if it'll be restored. So they're making plans that it won't, and they'll just figure out another way. There's always a way. You just got to work it. You got to work, squeeze the dollar, figure out another way to do something cheaper, and just figure out a way to make that happen. And that's nonprofits, and this is a constant battle. It's not just because of now, but it did, it did put a hurt on. 20% is a lot. I mean, if we were talking 2%, that would hurt. 20% is a lot of their funds. So I feel for them. And, some people may not see the full need of it. I'll guarantee you there's probably somebody, even in our town, which sees stuff like that and goes, "Oh, they just need to go out and get a job." And they don't know everybody's situation. If you go up there and you work the food bank and you help the people shop, you see the situation firsthand. You see what's going on with these folks. And, what their deal is. So just pray for them. I don't, and I'm not even announcing it to take a hard line either way. I'm not trying to even draw a conclusion. I'm just wanted to put it out there that it happened. Hello, well, Michael again, Tarman. I just think it's important to announce stuff like that because I legit got it, and I read through it today, and I was telling some other people about it, at work, and I asked them if they got it, and I think the reason I got it was because I went there and I signed up my work email, and that's where it came. And but I appreciate them sending it. Again, we want to know the issue, that's going on. It's a great thing if you ever get a chance. I've helped 2 food banks. Once I volunteered at the Atlanta Food Bank. I actually went into the auspices of a synagogue. They didn't know me from Adam, but I followed them online, and I saw that I was going to be in Atlanta doing a Bible study early that morning at a assisted living home. And I said, well, they're going to be over at the food bank. I got enough time to get there. I'll just join in. So I went in under their sign up. But they never knew I was there with them. So I was basically working as a solo, and they just put me where they wanted to put me. Let me tell you, that was intense. Intense. I mean, I don't know that I'd want to do it every day. It was just, they start bringing that stuff and sending it down those. They had multiple conveyors of boxes, and you had to make split-second decisions on some of that stuff. And you got breaks. They were kind to us, but some of the people that was kind of over it were a little bit snarky about a couple things. But I get it. They were trying to get it, to the right place in the right box that goes to the thing. And you don't want cleaning supplies with this. I get that, but it was. I think I did. I don't remember. It was 4 hours. I think I did like a 12 to 4 or something. But I was there with the one of the Atlanta synagogues. I believe they are they were not Orthodox. They were. I say Reform. I think I don't remember. But they were a startup. And well, they're a lot bigger now. They do supply a lot of food for a lot of places. Absolutely. The need is always great. Humans are humans, and food is always going to be needed, and shortages are going to occur. And as they said, there's never enough. There's never enough. Say what you will. People can say we got all the food in the world, but they can tell you on the ground there's never enough. You can't fulfill everybody's needs every day. You have to do it so much in a month or a week, whatever it is, depending on your situation. You can't go there every day and get food. I know that. They just don't have enough. But they do a lot with what they have. It's a massive operation. I mean, nice trucks, nice facilities. Their coolers. I've walked in them. I've seen all that. The pallets, coming in and out. The Shiner program. Some of the companies send them. Labels are gone, but they know what's in them. They're marked and everything. Yeah, man. Hey, go ahead. I understand. I appreciate you stopping in and saying, hey, everybody, for doing that. I was later at God. I thought, am I going on or not? I was busy. I was actually recording the Jub and Bubba show. I got most of it recorded. There's a couple of things, but a crisis occurred. I made a full-on crisis. Uncle Jeb went missing. I'm like, what in the world is going on? I searched the studio. There's not much you can hide. It's a decent sized studio, but it's not that big. And I said, I think somebody stole Bubba. Uncle Jeb. I called my granddaughter. I'm like, have you seen Uncle Jeb? She's like, no. And she looked around a little bit. I'm like, he's not here. He's not here. And I'm panicking, like but there's nothing else missing. Who could have stolen him? And I'm like, I must be going crazy because I don't see him. We must have looked for 30 minutes. I had laid Uncle Jeb for resting purposes on the back of a chair we have in here. I have a couple of nice chairs. And I didn't realize it, but somebody had sat on that, kicked it up, and poor old Uncle Jeb went to the floor. He went to the floor, and it was the last place I looked. I said, "Oh, there he is." So we got him up, got him all dusted off. I bet he wasn't happy. And so I was doing that. I went into Killer Carl's programs, talked or listened, not talk. I chatted with him a little bit, and they were talking about some MAGA stuff and stuff in the news, and it was good. And the 5-5 Coffee folks, I were talking about that, and they stopped in the chat. I bought some of their coffee, so I did a few other little things, and I thought, well, if I'm going on, I better go now, or I'm going to get sleepy. So Rob's doing better. I was glad to see that. Yes, and a lot of people don't see it, Chickmate, until it hits home, and you know, that's life. I mean, people don't see it; they don't see the need. It's that's just life. Nobody can see your passion for something like you can. Passion or need, they can't see that, and that's part of the that's part of the hard sell, is to get somebody to see your need the way you see it. Whenever I do evangelism, you have to look at people through how they see. You have to think like them a little bit. You have to kind of think of how things look to them, and see things through their eyes. It's a unique talent to be able to do that. But the more you can do, especially with different cultures than yours, the more you understand where they're coming from. And it will help immensely. Well, that's anything, not just ministry, but seeing how someone sees an event or news or whatever this case may be. And it's, in many cases, it's very different than you see it. And the more differences there are, the more difficult it is to make connection. And sometimes those connections have to be slow and small and short steps, and you have to build relationships. I mean, that's just the way it is. But people don't see what you see, and it's difficult. But the more you can kind of get in their head a little bit, which is scary sometimes, in seeing a situation, you can sort of understand what they're talking about. And I think that's the biggest thing, is people they tell you something, well, you don't see it from my perspective. Some people might be mad about something when you think it's kind of funny, vice versa. They might not think it's as big a deal as you do, or, they might think it's more of a deal. The wars have been started off of things like this. The breaking down of communications and in foreign diplomacy is sometimes what they call it a critical juncture. Because there's a lot of they don't trust each other, and they're getting to a point, and it's kind of hard. They're working through translators, even makes it more difficult, and trying to make that connection. And what is it that I have to do to help get you? What does it as a negotiator have to do to get two parties that are diametrically opposed and may even not like each other? It may be there are people doing it, but they're making the agreement. What do you have to do to get them to come to the table and say, okay, we'll sign. We're there. I mean, a lot of these things are done. They're not walking away, slapping each other on the back. Sometimes it's like kicking and screaming and dragging and spitting. They make the deal and they walk away and they grumble. Each side grumbles, happy about some things they got, and they grumble about the things they didn't get. And that's all part of that mastery of negotiation. I'm not an expert at it, but to be a mediator, to be someone that comes between two, that comes between two things. I'm just catching up with chat. Yes, I see comments. Yes, I don't know. Is there something specific I'm supposed to see? I'm just glancing. I was paying attention to some other things, so wasn't entirely looking at chat. So hello, Miss Jenneth. Thank you for the like. Still sorry about your cat. I know that's hard. Um, difficult. I got home from work and my granddaughter brought out the dog. The dog don't trust me because she don't like men, and but she'll lick my hand and stuff if she holds her. But she handed her to me and I held her. I said, "Don't walk away; she'll go crazy." And I was holding the dog. And I had for a minute, petted her, and handed her back. And Kaylee says she's shaking. She's so scared. I'm a scary guy, I guess. But she was an abused dog and a rescue, and it's it's hard on her. But we're all kind of buds. She barks at me, but she's a yapper dog anyway. So it is what it is. A yapper. So that's kind of where it's at. I'm just in here. I don't have any big agenda tonight. As far as that, I'm just chatting, talk about whatever. I don't have anything much in the morning. Don't forget, we will be live. I think Rob will be back. He was feeling better. And it's a bad virus. I mean, just a bad virus. And then tomorrow night will be Hump Day News, obviously. Thursday night is Cornbread Nation and the Racing Hour, Southern Fried Racing Hour, will be at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dave and Dean in the house. So we look forward to talking about Darlington. And on Thursday morning, I will do another Southern Fried Patriot Morning Show. So we're now 5 days a week, unless something happens and I'm sick or Rob's sick or we're both sick. We're now Monday through Friday in the morning show. So one or both of us will be here for those. So you can't download a video Rumble for research. It's always too huge a file. I don't know I don't know. I download them. I download our own sometimes. We have had in the studio where we didn't have enough room and the video didn't save, but it shoots it to those that we go live to, except, we don't save it Instagram because you have to do it a different way, but I don't know how big that keeps it or whatever, but I have downloaded ours before and so I could load it out somewhere else because it wasn't in there for me to download from the studio. So, which is StreamYard. And so I don't know. Maybe they are big. You talk about does some of them downloaded as a zip file or something like that? I don't know. I suppose you could just copy the link down and just use a link off of it. We do that too. What much space you got? I try to keep my phone cleaned out, but actually through all the crazy phone problems I had, I actually got the 15 Pro Max 1 terabyte. So I have a lot of phone space, which is really cool. And then I also use the computer well, but I have 2 terabytes of backup space for the computer plugged in. So I have been there. Don't want to be locked up on the size of programs or the size, because if you want to do something, you want to get done. And I do go out and clean stuff up and do maintenance as often as I can remember it and got time and clean it out a little bit. But wouldn't it be nice to have all the space you ever needed? That would be great. No limitations. just do it. That would be awesome. Just to have that kind of space, especially on your phone, because if you get into video files, those do take up a lot of space. I can do a lot more things with MP3s than I can MP4s. You can just have lots of those and they don't seem to take up a lot of space. I'm certainly not an expert on it, but I try to keep things cleaned out. Early on, it was kind of a bummer. I was thinking we could just keep them all, but somewhere out there, they're all still there somewhere, just spread out. Facebook has started removing live programming after 30 days. That's something new. Meta's just started. So I get these emails that says, your live program, Mama said, will be removed on this date. It's whatever. There's still places I can go out there that it's stored as often as I make. The program is there. So that's just the way it is. That's Meta. What do you say? And every platform has a strength and a weakness, I would say. So winter in April, it ain't that cold. There's a freeze warning. I don't know how cold it's going to be. I think it's about 35 at night here. That's really not bad. As long as it don't dip down the 20s, I'm cool. No pun intended. I'm okay with it. Just throw in another cover. I don't like it when it gets real hot anyway. But I would like, 70s, 50s. That's kind of great. Even 80s, 60s, as long as humidity level's not up, that's not bad either. But once you start moving into the upper 80s and it's hot, high humidity, that's miserable, and I don't care for that. So, not doing that. We the Rick and Bubba, the Jeb and Bubba show will probably release. The first one is probably going to be Thursday, and it's it's been a hoot. But Jeb and Bubba go to the White House, so that's one of the main things. But there's some other things that goes on too. So interesting. New promo is cut, and I've got to get it uploaded. But just about all the recordings done for the first show. So we've got the music, we've got the background, we've got most of the recording. We're ready to roll. And Uncle Jeb has been found. He was, I thought he was gone. I panicked. Where's my boy? He was there. Pray for my oldest son. He's going. Him and two of the grandchildren are going to Gulf Shores tomorrow. I didn't even know about it. He said, I've had this plan for months. I'm like, first I heard about it. Tells you what I know. Oh, it'd be a good time to go to the beach. Not so hot. Great weather. A little rain shower here and there. That's just part of it. I wouldn't mind going. I'm going to see, but the trip is going to be really fast. I'm not going to have time to really. When we go to the Mayhaw Festival, that's let's see, that is 2 weeks from, or no, let's see. Actually, that's 1 week from Saturday. A week from Saturday. I was looking at the date. I'm saying that's a week from Saturday. And then in 2 weeks from Friday, we'll have Duncan for the Senate in Texas. He'll be with us on Front Porch for the first hour. Looking forward to that. I could see that easily going another hour if he wanted to. We'd give it to him, but he said an hour's good. So we'll see what's going on with that. I don't know if I'll even have a shot, but I actually may do some work. I don't know. I've done a little work, and I can't say for whom. You're not supposed to say for whom, but as long as I don't say for whom, I can say what kind of work. I've done some voting work here and there as time would allow. Sometimes that was a real push over the last few years, looking at candidates in different states, even down to school board. And I've actually responded to something. I've got to go and do some more information, but I may get involved again. And this one would specifically be school boards. So it would be a lot of research and things. So now that I'm set up in the studio and everything, I thought this might really work even better. And it would be some dedicated research each week, and just trying to drill down. And this is where we got to get to. We got to look at these school boards, get some information on them and what's happening. So, you had to put bait on a hook by directions of a 10-year-old in the back in the 1990s. So you like to fish? You like to fish chick bait? I fished a lot when I was young. Rob loves to fish. I haven't fished in. This is gonna blow your mind. I used to go a lot. I have not fished since probably my boys were young. I will say it's been at least 30 years. It's a good 30 years. and it was not intentional. I just didn't go anymore. So, that is on the 20. Put that up there for Texas. That is. Let me get my calendar. I think that's 2 weeks from Friday, and yeah, it's on the 25th. That'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And hello to you. We've got Duncan for Senate, which is the John Cornyn seat. He's going to be coming on for the first hour, so from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's Duncan, and I'm trying to think of his first name. Let's see here. I'll let you know. I should have I've got to get a card up for it, but he's got a nice website. And it's Duncan for Senate if you want to look it up. DuncanForSenate.com is his website. And let's see here. Alexander Duncan. And he's going to be on with us. I haven't talked to him yet. I've talked to his media relations guy. And there's the address. So let me see if I can pull this up a little bit. Hold on just a second. Let's see if I can find the right one. There it is. That would be him. He will be on the Southern Fried. Front Porch Talking on that first hour. He's America First, Second Amendment, Border Security, Energy Independence. He doesn't show any more than that. There's a few other things I would like to talk about. He's got a nice store. If you go raise some money, you better have a lot to sell, and he does. So he's got quite a few things there, I see. And I don't know why that froze on that screen, but anyway, that be him, and we will have him on. So Duncan for Senate. I like his hats and his mugs. That's a good looking mug and a good looking hat. So, and I don't remember all the issues, but back during the election, or even back before the election, John Cornyn rubbed some conservatives the wrong way on a couple things. And I remember, because I'm not in Texas, and I paid attention to it, but I didn't deeply pay attention to it because I was watching more Georgia politics. And I do watch politics around the nation, but there was other issues going on that were, for me, really big. And so I don't know that he could, I don't know how good he'll do, and nobody knows. John Cornyn's been there for a little bit, and he has a lot of support. But this is a time, depending on what would happen, if we'll see who gets the endorsement, and we'll see what the issues are. It definitely could be an issue. So, who knows? You never know who's going to go out and vote. I mean, but yeah, it's not, even though we're Georgia, we've always said we'll cover stories wherever. And I love it because Texas is a huge battleground. It's a huge state. It's a huge battleground. He is not, to my knowledge, at all already. He's just running. It's going to be difficult. I'll admit. I'm not trying to say anything negative. It's just always when you've never, to my knowledge, and I don't know his full background. I'm gonna have to do a look, and we'll find out as we get him up and talk about, some of those things. We definitely want to find out more, more about him, what he stands on, and what those things are. But you have to reach out to him. But they seem like they've got a good ground game going on. Like I said, they're trying to get his name out there, and they're trying to, get. That's the thing. voters are very fickle, and if they okay. Yeah, boots on the ground, but you've got to get your name out there because voters sometimes, and I've seen this because I'm I've said it many times. I work as an assistant manager at my precinct on election day, and I'll do a little bit of early voting. I have to go to, matter of fact, I got to go to class on May the 9th, I believe it is, we have to do required training for the new year at the beginning of the year, and it's a lot to keep up with. But you'll hear people, and they're not supposed to talk, but they'll try to ask you a question. You're like, I can't help you. No talking. Other than if there's a problem, you can ask me. Technical stuff. But you can people don't know who to vote for. They didn't do the research, so they go with what they remember, a name. Well, but at least they tried. At least they tried to run, and. You know what? That's an experience. There's some people that run every time. And it used to be, I'm not trying to make light of it, used to be there was that, how do you say it? I mean, pornography person, the lady who ran every time in California. Well, she was doing it for publicity. Absolutely. But, a little bit about him. He says that he's 34. He has 12 years experience as a police officer. And he talks about his faith in God and what brought him to Christ. And I don't want to go through the whole thing because I want him to come and tell his story. I can't tell his story. He can. They were in California at one time, but they left because they didn't like the policies there. And got into Texas, and he goes into some of that, the things he saw. He lists basically those values in there, pictures of him and his wife and the kids, and says he has a passion for service. So he's not been a politician; he's been a police officer for 12 years. That's a hard jump. That is a hard jump. But you know what? God bless him. If God tells you to run, if you feel like in your heart you should run, don't ever let that stuff. You got to run sometime. And somebody would say, and that election will be in, that's the midpoint, 2026, U.S. Senate candidate. So he's building a platform and getting his name out there. So we're going to help. And John Cornyn, not that he would want to, but if he wanted to come on, he's welcome. We would offer equal time. So, hey, Roy, how you doing? So anyway, we'll just see. We're not. I mean, it's not our state. We're not here to do an endorsement or anything. We're letting him tell his story and talk about issues, and that's always a good thing. Talking about what's going on, and it'll help us get a little bit better of the ground game that's going on in Texas and what's going on with that. So we'll just see what's up, and kind of go with that. And I like that. I hope we can get some more on. We said that this year and then going in the next couple of years, we would get a lot more candidates on. We've had one for sure, who is a sitting elected official. We have talked to an election official, all in Georgia, all in my district. But we want to branch out from there, and this opportunity afforded itself, and I'm like, absolutely. So I wanted, it just worked out. I didn't know that they would do it. They said they're excited about it. And a lot of people didn't even give them the time of day. I don't think. I hope that some did, but they were excited, and it makes me feel good that they're excited to come on. So it's good to do. Like I said, Texas is tough. Texas is a tough state. Everybody thinks Cowboys and real conservative. There is that, but Texas is very liberal in many areas because you got big cities. You get around Austin, Dallas, There's a lot of liberal candidates, and I mean that's where Sheila Jackson Lee, who served for so long, came from. On the federal level. So anyway, we'll see what he has to say. Our motto has always been here to let people tell their story, and we can agree or not agree on the story or parts of it or whether we like it or not, but just to let somebody tell their story. And we don't try to shape that. We'll ask questions and ask questions off of answers, but it's not. And we always promise a candidate we're not here to, we're not here to drop a bombshell and try to get the Southern Fried Boys. I hate those that kind of, I don't landmine kind of interviews. I don't like that. I think you can ask tough questions. I think you can ask, for clarification stuff. But when you do that and they make a big deal about it and they're bragging about it, you ain't never going to get that person on again. What's the use? I mean, it's like you got your 15 minutes of fame and move on. But I just think that you straight up with people, you interview them. We don't sugarcoat it. We let them tell their story. Then we ask them, some tougher questions. And, they're always, and everybody that's ever been on has always said, ask whatever you need to ask. We're open book. We're good. And I appreciate that because I think they sense, it's not easy to come on and be live like that. This is going to be live. It's not recorded. And we've never been told, we've never been given a list of stuff not to ask. We've never been told, well, we ain't talking about this. We just make that disclaimer to anybody that wants to come on that we're not going to try to embarrass you or make you put you in a bad light. We just want you to be able to talk. And come on, man, Roy. I mean, I think you was not, kind of like timed out the other night, and I'm willing to have discussion in the chat for a while, but you're borderline right now. So, come on, man. Let's just not, drag on people here on their belief systems and stuff. So, you know what? You're welcome here as long as we don't do that. But I'm by myself, and I don't got time to manage chat a whole lot because I really want to cover a few things. But I'm just saying, man. Come on. That's all I can say. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I've heard that before too, and then I got dropped. I got bombshell. So all I ask is just please don't go there. And I just don't want nobody offended. You're here to have fun and talk about stuff, and we like to cut up too. But when it comes to God, we're not going to be. We're not going to do that. So it's just what, that don't go anywhere but down. You can be an atheist and come in here. I don't matter to me. But just don't pick at people who believe. So and I wouldn't want people to believe to pick at people who don't. You can share your testimonies and stuff, sure, or even why you don't believe, but just don't. The comments like that just take us in a direction we don't need to go. So that's all I ask. I'm cool, man. There's no problem. It's just we've had that before. And somebody gets it just usually ends up bad. I'm a fair guy. I'm very slow to anger. Oh, there are some shows out there. They get with it. I mean, it's wild and wide open, and I can't go to the level that some of them do. That's their show, not mine. We just try to keep it a little bit different. A little bit. I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying I would want to keep it a little more family friendly, I guess. We try to keep the language down. There's a word here and there. We're not trying to be school marms or whatever and smacking hands, but we do try to keep it. We do try to keep it very civilized, and that's all you can do. Lord knows sometimes we all slip, and that's truth. But thanks for being here, though. I really do appreciate it. It's at the very least, people have come in and talk, and that's what the whole thing was set up for, was to come in and talk, and that's what we try to do. So let me run a quick commercial. I didn't run the one at the beginning, and I do need to run a couple, if nothing else, to refill my coffee cup. And we'll keep going. I don't even know if like I said, I don't really have anything major to talk about. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'll look up a couple things. I'm interested in seeing how a couple things went. But it's Tuesday night. It's a ho-hum kind of night. And, we'll see. I was thinking it was something I was going to share that happened today. I don't even remember what it was now. But we'll be right back. We really will. Let's talk about Mammoth Nation. Hey, Southern Fried fans and your Cornbread Nation. Well, yeah, that's right. We're going to advertise for Mammoth Nation. To all proud Americans, we call attention to these thoughts. Are you tired of woke corporations that don't align with your values? I know we are. Look no further than Mammoth Nation, the ultimate destination for patriots like you and me and Rob and everybody else, including old crazy Uncle Jeb, who believe in putting America first. Here at the Southern Fried Podcast, we're proud to partner with Mammoth Nation because they share our unwavering commitment to faith, family, and yes, freedom. Just like us, Mammoth Nation believes in the power of the American spirit and the importance of preserving our great nation's heritage. When you join Mammoth Nation, you're not just getting access to amazing discounts on products and services. You're becoming a part of a community that stands against the forces trying to tear our country apart. From supporting veterans and first responders to promoting Christian values, Mammoth Nation is the go-to platform for conservatives who want to make their voices heard. So what are you waiting for? Join the Mammoth Nation movement today and start enjoying exclusive deals from businesses that share your America First values. Together, we can make America great again, one purchase at a time. Don't miss out on this opportunity to support a company that truly cares about our nation's future. Sign up for Mammoth Nation now and experience the difference of a community that puts America first. Use that QR code on the screen, folks, and that will take you right to the website where we also will be helped in your support of these values. We are customers of this great American company. Rob is a monthly supporter, and I am a lifetime member of Mammoth Nation. We're so appreciative of companies like this. Please be a supporter, not just for us, but for America. These companies need our support. We're patriots. Stand together with patriots. Take care, and God bless. Hey, Southern Fried Podcast fans. This is Dave the AM for the Southern Fried Podcast. We want to advertise for W, who's got some special things going on. So are you tired of those energy drinks that you drink and they give you the jitters and the crashes that come from the typical drink? Look no further than W Energy Drink. It's a revolutionary new beverage that will keep you energized without any of those downsides. For a limited time, folks, a limited time, W is offering an incredible 30% off on everything they sell. That's right. You can stock up on your favorite flavors and save big while enjoying the smooth, sustained energy that only W can provide. I'm a customer member, and I can testify to this. I love this drink. No shakes, no crashes. And if it can help my mental acuity, I'm happy too. Awesome. They have a unique formula that provides you a perfect balance of focus and vitality without any of those unpleasant side effects that we don't want. No more of those shaking hands, crashing you in the middle of the day. Just pure clean energy to help you tackle any challenge that comes your way. But don't wait too long. This 30% offer won't last forever. Go on over to W's website now and start shopping. Remember to smash that promo code Southern Fried into the area where they ask you to put that in there, and it'll help us as well. You're still going to get the 30%, but it'll let them know that you are supporting us, and so we appreciate it today. So try a W Energy Drink and experience the difference for yourself. Your body and mind will thank you for making the switch to the energy drink that truly delivers on its promises. Don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to save big and upgrade your energy game with W. Don't forget, use that promo code Southern Fried. Don't have to worry, 'cause I'm here. Don't need to stop, baby, 'cause I'm here. Just hold on, I'm coming.
I live back in the woods, you see, my woman and the kids and the dogs and me. I got a shotgun, a rifle, and a
Light it up while you still can. Don't even try to understand. Just find a place to make your stand and take it easy.
Why you got to give me a fight? Can't you just let it be? I'm alright.
And we're back. We're back. Cut my music on Podbean side after some of the commercials I have are the same and some are not. But it's good to be back. And I think, Chick, you tried to call me. Sorry, I was busy at the moment and I couldn't take it. So I apologize for that. But anyway, it's good to be here. It's good to be online and, good to be an American. And the tariff wars continue. More, kind of threats towards China. Other countries are lining up to make deals. The road is rocky ahead, and there's some Republicans that are they're wavering a little bit, so it's going to be kind of tough. The president did get some wins out there today, but the tariff war with China is heating up big time. And so no deal unless, they get this thing done where, because China's playing hardball, the rattling of the sabers, the economic sabers rather, which is a good thing. And we'll just have to see where that goes. But also today, the president pulled $4 million in funding, or the administration did, from a couple of more universities out there. This a lot of money. Princeton has been cut $4 million. So that's going to start having an effect. I mean, you would think about it. They said the cuts were made after a detailed, careful, and thorough review of the department's financial assistance programs against the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's NOAA current program objectives. They terminated these funds from Princeton effective June 30th and will streamline and reduce the cost and size of the federal government consistent with President Trump's promise for his administration. So money being cut there. That's going to make some people very, very angry as they see them doing that. So, more protests, I'm sure, to come, more attacks, whatever the case may be. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. Netanyahu was in yesterday trying to work a deal with Israel. And I know some people don't like him and don't like Israel, but it's a big ally, and they're trying to get situations settled there for themselves. They depend on 30% of Israel's GDP is military expense. Just the way it is, it's pretty high. So, Israel does export a lot. They import a lot, and they export a lot. They do very well. For those who don't know, with flowers, Israel does great with flowers. Agriculture, they do well in the diamond market. Is a big thing, and Motorola has a huge plant there. So there's quite, that's just part of it. I mean, it's amazing what they could do. And really the whole of the Middle East, if they could just get a handle on the hate, think of how much money could be made in the Middle East. I mean, just on tourism, the building up of some of those beautiful areas, but yet war, it's just doomed to always be something. So I don't know what you say, but it's frustrating. I mean, think about, and Jordan's done probably his best, and Israel itself, as anybody in capturing this, and maybe Egypt with the tourism, but they could do so much more. Missile strike in Kyiv occurred, on Sunday. So there was still ongoing tensions there. No peace agreement yet. So we talked about that on the weekend. So be praying about that. But I think for the foreseeable future, the tariffs is going to be the story. That and a continued deportation of criminals from other nations. Trump says China's manipulating. China, you have to say it like him. China is manipulating money, currency to offset the tariffs. He says countries are rushing to the U.S. for tailored deals. 70 nations are ready to make deals. Trump presses for 104% tariff on China. Well, I tell you, it's going to be some people shopping at the big box store. You know what I mean? There's going to be things going up there because a lot of that stuff is, China and or areas related close in the region. But those from China, man, is going to take a lot. Kind of nice, 2 former hostages held by Hamas publicly thanked the president today at the National Republican Congressional Committee dinner, crediting him with securing their release and urging him to continue efforts to free others still in captivity. It's amazing there's still people in captivity and dead bodies. I mean, let's face it. Yeah, you got it, Chickbait. There's going to be that. They said what they had to go through was just horrible. Trump encouraged them to come on up. They said that the president to President Trump, I'm here and I'm alive. He said, you saved my life, and you saved the life of 33 hostages. No matter what side of the aisle you're on, if people are getting released from a bad situation like that, that's pretty cool, pretty dang cool. So for their families, he said, you got 33 of us home alive. We all owe our lives to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you know what? I don't care if somebody got me out. I don't care who they are. They got me out. I'm saying thank you. So yeah, I would be overjoyed. Think about what they went through. I mean, I don't even really want to know because that's private. One of them said he described his time in captivity as hell. And I can imagine. He said, I was in hell for 498 days. 498 days. He said, I have been held in hell with Hamas terrorists. We didn't see the light. I'm sure they had him underground. He recalled hearing news about Trump's elections, renewed hope among the captives. But we feel when we heard President Trump get elected, we knew that is now someone who makes the things happen. Thank you. As of Tuesday, today, 59 hostages reportedly remain in the Gaza Strip. Where do they keep them at? I mean, things been decimated. It's amazing they can't get to them. It's just amazing. So I don't know where are these people at, and for what? I mean, you've already gotten a lot of people released. I mean, what's the end game? You're just going to continue more destruction, more fight. But we're talking about terrorists. I mean, they don't care. They don't care. They like that means they get more weapons from Iran or something. But I'm glad they got out, and that's just tough. You can't go through something like that without being affected for the rest of your life to be held like that. I didn't see any update about the measles outbreak. If anybody knows anything, let me know. I haven't had a chance to check a lot of news today. I was curious about if they've made any more determination about that. But apparently it came out of a community of Mennonites, and unfortunately 2 or 3 have passed, children, and that's unfortunate. Anyway, I was just looking to see Trump has opened a tax hike on top earners. There is a little snipping in the Republican Party, though, in the leadership between various leaders of agencies. There's a little bit. So it could be a little bit of problem for the administration, a little bit of problem as they go forward if that kind of thing continues. So I don't know. That's going to happen anyway. You ain't all going to get along. I wanted to look at completely different, though. I don't want to talk about I wanted to see that's not what I wanted. Wanted to pull up let's see here. Here we go. Here we go. They kill me how they it's the Dallas Cowboys when they do their they go through their numbers for when they go through their to hike the ball. They go, here we go. I mean, every time it kind of gets on my nerves just a little bit. Let's see here. Well, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Let's see here. I wanted to see. The Braves actually won today. I was looking to see if the Braves won. That's the second game they've won, I think. But they did beat the Phillies, which is nice. And the Dodgers got drilled. That's nice. Unless you're a Dodgers fan. But my goodness, they're loaded. But it's nice to see the Braves finally get another win. I mean, they won, then they lost. I mean, they blanked a team, then they got blanked, and then they didn't. They didn't do too good with the bats. But today they won 7-5. And for one of the guys that they were talking about, some fans were saying, get rid of Sean Murphy, the catcher. He homered and drove in 4 runs. So he come back from a rib injury, and they won. So nice. Iglesias got the save. Very, very nice. I like that. So I hadn't even had a chance to check scores. So that's what I was doing, was checking the Braves score. Oh. Schwarber, which I like him, used to be with the Cubs. He's with the Phillies. He did homer. He also had a triple. Let's see. Riley had a double. It's not like they didn't hit. One guy hit the homer, but that's all the one they had. So they did good. But they'll be playing the Phillies for the next. Let's see. Game 2, Game 3, Game 4, Game 5. Let's see that. No, that's later. The next 2 games. So they've got a three games. So win tomorrow, you win the series. They lead the series 1-0. They can't say that against much people, but we'll see. It's still amazing to me that South Carolina got thumped by UConn that bad. Amazing to me. I can't wait for football though to come back. I'm a football fan. I do like baseball, and not much basketball anymore. And I am enjoying the racing. The race season is really good right now, and I really like that. And I'm loving having Dean in the studio. Dean is amazing, and I like having him. He comes with he's studied. He likes to he's watched it a lot. He has a lot of thoughts, and he's getting more and more excited about it, and that's always fun. So that's cool. I got my state taxes sent off. Out a little bit because of a couple things I had to do this past year. It was nice to get that done. Got back from the federal, owed the state, got that took care of. So it's in the box. And remember, that's coming up next week, deadline, unless you're filing an extension. Tax day's coming. I know you don't want to hear that. And right behind that, I got to get my tags because in Georgia, they go by your birthday. And I've got to get my tags. I've got to get by 1, 2, 3. So I think, but the way Georgia does it now, you paid all that on the front end. And so going forward, you just pay the lowest amount, which is like, I think $21 a tag. But boy, you pay on the front end. They have Velorum and everything. I mean, it can be hundreds of dollars, and they get you right there. But it's kind of nice after that for as long as you have the car, $21. So pay the pain in the beginning, and then you just, you're good. So, and that doesn't matter what your car. I've got some a little older, some a little more than that, and $21, so $63 for all my tags. So pretty cool. Got to pay the man. Gasoline was running about. I think I paid $2.90 something. I think when I got gas the other day. So that's about where gas is running here in this area. The water bill and light bill has been pretty good. It's been a little mild here recently, and that's kind of nice. And I finally taught my granddaughter not to take so long a shower. You know what? Kids, they like to stay in there. I had a Marine, my Bible teacher, one of them, he was ex-Marine, and he was bound and determined for himself 2-minute shower. 2 minutes, that's it. He said, that's the max we got in the Marines. That's good enough in the Marines. I'm always a Marine, 2 minutes. Can you do a 2-minute shower? That's moving. But really, seriously, about 5 minutes at max. So when you're in boot camp, you learn to do things really quickly. You don't want to be the last one out. You don't want to get screamed at, and you don't want to go so fast though that you don't get things right, because you don't get the shave close enough and all that. They'll tell you to you get points against and all that. So, but kids they just like to camp out in the shower. Oh, it feels so good, especially in the wintertime. But she's pretty quick. We all are. It was one of my sons. He's the slowpoke. I said, well, what are you doing in there, man? I mean, like, you're going slow, man. I mean, come on. Yeah, I'm sorry, Dad. I'm like, man, you're going to start paying the water bill. Oh, let's see here. Virginia shooting leaves at least 3 dead, 3 injured. The suspects remain at large. So far, no arrests in Spotsylvania County, Virginia shooting. That's always nice to hear. Good grief. That's a very historical area, Spotsylvania. About 5:30, about 60 miles south of D.C. And as of 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 confirmed dead, 3 people taken to local hospitals. Active and fluid investigation, so pray for them. Wow. And they even got images of those with the weapons. Sad. You know what? The world is a scary place sometimes, but you don't know where you're going to go. That trouble is going to happen. So you have to kind of prepare and be ready to go. Do those things that you've got to do. So my Podbean is not allowing me to put things in the chat, which is bugging me. I'm going to have to figure that out. That happened this morning too. So I'm going to have to reboot the computer. I think it's just going to the app just needs to be rebooted. I've got an update fixing to happen. So that's always fun. Again, not going to stay on long. I just want to get on and say hey and talk a little bit. We've done that. And in the morning, me and Rob will be up with the morning show. And then tomorrow night, Hump Day News. I don't think we've got any guests. Maybe Dog Tag will check in. I want to hear from Dog Tag. And then Thursday, we got 3 shows, actually. Morning show, racing show. Well, maybe 4, because if I get everything put together tomorrow, the first Jeb and Bubba show is going to air. I think I like it. There's some good stuff there. I think there is. They're a hoot. So, and as you see, I took Bubba's hat from him. He's laying behind me. You can see him back there. Just kick back, laid out. I'm wearing your hat, bud. Y'all have a great night. I've got a few little things to do in the studio, and then go up and visit my wife before she goes to bed. And baby girl better be in bed. And we'll be back early in the morning for the morning show. And pray for us, and we'll pray for you. I've got an aunt that's still doing, I think, poorly. We'll pray for her. I'd appreciate it. And just some people that I know that really need a touch. So if you're a praying person, pray for them. We appreciate it. And pray for Rob continued getting better. And Miss Elizabeth, she wasn't feeling good either last night. So let's pray for those folks. Just remember when you pray, or give them a happy thought. They would appreciate it. And we'll see you first thing in the morning, Lord willing, unless he comes and takes me out of here beforehand. You never know. I've talked to so many people recently, talked about how their spouse just dropped dead. It's amazing. You don't think about it. They say, well, they're doing good. Just lost them. Some of them were sickness, but most of them just heart attacks, I guess, strokes, whatever. Crazy stuff. And I know what people's thinking, what we went through. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe. maybe Chickbait, Lewis, Roy, everybody, good night. God bless. We'll run some music on the way out. And if anything happens before that, I feel like I need to pop back in. I do that sometimes. I'll pop back on the screen, but probably not. But we'll see you in the morning.